All right, we are off to the movies now if everything plugs in and does its job. And if there's something strange in the neighbourhood, who are you going to call, Tash?
I have no idea. Ghostbusters, of course, Barrett's. Yes, they are back. Strap yourselves in. We're in for a great year with a new film and a new cast alongside some familiar favourites. This blockbuster picks up the story more than 30 years. It's not 30 years, surely, after the events of the 1980s classic. Weekend Sunrise movie man Jason Jabba Davis caught up with the director and cast of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I don't know.
Dust off the proton packs, there's something strange in the neighbourhood. Again, Ghostbusters Afterlife is the long-awaited sequel to 80s classics Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Honestly, my mom won't say it, but we're completely broke. And the only thing that's left in our name is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere.
This time, single mum Callie and her two kids Phoebe and Trevor arrive in a small town. And unsurprisingly, it turns out to be ground zero for America's latest impending apocalypse. There, they begin to discover their connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy left behind by their grandfather.
My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Wait a minute. The film is directed by Jason Reitman, who takes over the Ghostbusters mantle from his father, the original director of the franchise, Ivan Reitman.
I was 6 years old on the set of that film, and never in my mind did I ever imagine directing this film. I was always more of an independent filmmaker. When people would ask me, are you ever going to make a Ghostbusters movie? I always thought they wanted to see my Ghostbusters movie, but really what they wanted was a Ghostbusters movie. They wanted, you know, one more ride in Ecto 1, and it's an honor to have been the person to finally direct that film.
Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd and Sigourney Weaver reprised their roles from the original films.
Well, you know, I am the son of a Ghostbuster, so I guess it's no surprise that this is a movie about the daughter and grandchildren of a Ghostbuster. I wanted to make a movie about a family that kind of needed to figure their relationships out and simultaneously make a movie that handed the proton back to audiences, the ghost trap, the PKE meter, Ecto 1, and then finally the original guys.
The new cast includes Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, and rising teen stars McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard.
I feel like I'm talking to a couple of cops, Wolfhard and Grace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
joining us now.
It's good cop, bad cop. Or, you're the bad cop, I would say. Yeah.
Tell us about taking on a role like this. Finn, you're a bit more established. I really got the sense that we were watching a bit of a star be born in McKenna's performance as Phoebe at the centre of this film. Did you get that sense?
I already think she's kind of a movie star. I mean, she's got a freaking Emmy nomination. That's awesome. Sorry, it's a lot, but it's true. It's really nice, and I think it makes me feel good when really, really good actors get their day. And I'm sure you grew on set. I grew on set.
Yeah.
Watching these people grow as actors and as people was like really rewarding and amazing to share scenes with them, for sure.
I took a lot away from that set. I took away a lot of things from, you know, from watching Miss Carrie and watching Finn and the original Ghostbusters, watching all of these incredible actors and having such a good director. I learned a lot, so I definitely took away a ton. And not only will that stay with me, but I mean just, you know, being in a Ghostbusters film will probably, you know, stay with me for a while, I hope.
For die-hard fans, hidden references are rife throughout the film.
Do you actually have a tally of how many Easter eggs are in the film?
This is a movie that was made by people who love Ghostbusters. I'm talking about the cast, the crew, the visual effects artists, the prop people, the set deck, sound designers. Everyone is sneaking little things in. So right from the Columbia logo, there are sound effects that were literally pulled from the sound files of the 1984 film. There are pieces of music that were pulled from the original score. Then you're going to start noticing props, details in the background, little things in the visual effects, even little tiny details in wardrobe, things that I noticed people haven't even spotted yet.
It has a gunner seat?
I think if you saw Ghostbusters when you were 7 years old like me, then it was probably the scariest movie you ever saw. If you saw it as a teenager, it was the funniest movie you ever saw. It's a comedy, it's a horror film, it's a science fiction film. It is so many things to different people. And in that moment of the 80s.
Ghostbusters Afterlife hits Aussie cinemas today.
Cannot wait.
That's a good one, is it? It's a must-see. You're watching Weekend Sunrise right around Australia, our top stories this morning.